Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Kenyan Elite Running and Lifestyle, and today we are privileged to have a very special guest from South Africa. His name is Jeremy Kropman, and he's here to tell us about his running experience. He came all the way from South Africa to have an experience, and he will tell us about his journey, his experience, and the goal is for you guys to have an idea of what it feels like to run in 10 Kenya, and hopefully you can learn a few things that you can take into your life. Welcome. So, Jeremy,
Hi.
welcome to the show.
Thank you,
Yes.
Collins.
So, tell us about yourself.
Okay, so I come from a small village about an hour outside of Cape Town in South Africa, and sport for me in the beginning was rugby, and that's all the sport we really played at school was rugby. That was everyone's focus. Um, but and then also when it came to athletics, we had it. I think in my first year at school, so sub A it was called, we had a trial for the athletics day.
Okay.
And as a first year at school, a trial for the athletics day is a 50-meter race.
Uh-huh.
And I was not a sprinter then, and I'm still not a sprinter. So I came nowhere, and then for the rest of my school career, I didn't even try out for any athletics. But then when I got to my last year of school, I decided, okay, this is my last chance to do athletics. I went and ran the 1500, and I came second. So
Wow.
all this wasted, I wouldn't say talent, but I mean, I should have done a bit more at school than the last year of my school. But then in my third last year of school, I started playing football, and I got called all sorts of names. I'm not playing rugby anymore, but I was a better football player, and I still enjoy football, and I still love it, and it's a big passion of mine. But then I went to university, and next to the University of Cape Town, there's this amazing forest. It is still one of my favorite places to run in the whole world. It's magnificent there. Started running there when I was at university, but then stupidly, within about a year of being at university, I ran my first marathon. I mean, from nothing to running a marathon, and then
How old was that? How old
I
were
was
you?
17 when I did my first marathon.
Wow.
So where all the textbooks say you should be 30 at least, and
Right.
so I started that, and then the next year, in fact, I tried to run the Two Oceans, which is a 56k, 35-mile run, iconic race of Cape Town. I tried to run that as well, and I bailed at 30k. I think my nerves got the better of me, and my stomach couldn't cope with it. But then the next year I ran that, and then I ran 10 of those in a row. And then in South Africa, the races are interesting that, normally we've got first, second, and third is gold, silver, and bronze medal.
Uh-huh.
But in South Africa, we've got races where you run a certain speed. So if you beat a certain time, you will also get a silver medal.
Okay.
So in my 10 Two Oceans, I think I got 6 silver medals, which meant I had to break 4 hours in the marathon. So then also the other iconic race in South Africa is the Comrades Marathon.
Uh-huh.
And I did my running duty there. I ran an up and a down, and both times I got silver medals. And then my best time for a marathon was 2:36. I ran a 72 half, so in theory I should have been able to break 2:30, but never actually got there.
And what age was that when you did 236?
So then I was already, was I in my 30s yet? I think I was not quite 30, so I was probably about 28 or so when I ran that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And at the time, going to the Defence Force was compulsory for white people in South Africa, so I went and then made the provincial side for the Defence Force team. And then was trying to break 2:30 in the SA Champs, and I picked a very windy day, unfortunately, and I never did it. So that's kind of my biggest regret, is that I never got under 2:30. Yeah. And then I suppose, let me continue. And then probably about 15 years ago, look, I often ran in the forest, but all my races were on the road. And about 15 years ago, I decided, no, enough of that, and go back to what I really love, and that's running in nature. So then I started trail running. So all my runs are now, my races that I take part in are trail runs. And then I'm now 66, and I think I've also become a bit older and wiser, so I don't I'm not into this like, oh, wow, you're amazing. You were in the pain cave for hours and hours and hours, and you're fantastic. But I realized for me that's not fun. I rather just go and enjoy a run, go and run a race, and I'll run up to say 25 k's now in trail. Sometimes I do get a bit silly, and because I kind of do well in my age group. There are only about 4 of us normally in my age group at my age, but I run and normally come in the first or second in my age group. There are more than 4 people, but I normally do quite well. Yeah.
Ah, great.
Yeah.